गिलमिटिया साहित्य, गिलमिटिया थोड़ा सा अलग शब्द लग रहा है। गिलमिटिया वो थे जिसके बारे में, गिलमिटिया वो साहित्यकार है जो भारत में रहते थे, लेकिन ब्रिटिश शासन जब भारत देश में आए थे और उन्होंने अपने साथ में कुछ मजदूरों को जहां जहां उन्होंने उपनिवेश किया था, जहां उन्होंने शासन किया था, वहां पे काम करने के लिए कुछ मजदूरों को वहां लेके गए थे, जिनका 5 साल का एक एग्रीमेंट बनता था और उसी 5 साल के एग्रीमेंट को गिरमिटिया कहा जाता है। तो इस रिसर्च में मैं गिरमिटिया साहित्य के बारे में या फिर वो जो लिटरेचर, वहां के जो मजदूर थे जिन्होंने अपना जीवन या फिर अपनी समस्याओं को, जो उन्हें टॉर्चर किया गया था या फिर जो भी उन्होंने समस्या थी, प्रॉब्लम्स थी, उसको उन्होंने जब कहानी या नॉवेल के थ्रू समझाने की कोशिश की तो उसे क्या कहा जाता है, गिलमिटिया कहा जाता है। यहाँ पे जो मेरा फर्स्ट चैप्टर है उसमें मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्य का अर्थ, स्वरूप और विश्लेषण दिया गया है, जहाँ पे गिलमिटिया साहित्य के गिलमिटिया का शब्द के बारे में बताया गया कि इसकी उत्पत्ति कहाँ से हुई है, इसका विकास कहाँ से हुआ है, इसका स्वरूप कहाँ है, और इसमें मतलब कि कहाँ कहाँ जब ब्रिटिश शासन आए थे तो भारत के मजदूरों को कहाँ कहाँ लेके गए थे, वहां पे उसके नाम को भी यहाँ पे बताया गया, जैसे मॉरिशस हो गया, साउथ अफ्रीका हो गया, फिजी हो गया, गुयाना हो गया और त्रिडाना। यहाँ पे ये मजदूरों को साथ में लेके गए थे और यहाँ पे रहने वाले जो मजदूर या फिर हम कहते हैं कि जो भारतीय थे, उन्होंने अपने साथ में अपने साहित्य को भी लेके गए, क्योंकि उनका जो आधार था उनकी वो हिंदी थी, और उसे जब वहां पे लेके गया, उसी पे जब उन्होंने अपने साहित्य को लिखा तो उसे कहा जाता है गिलमिटिया साहित्य। तो फर्स्ट चैप्टर में मैंने गिलमिटिया के इतिहास के बारे में बताया गया है। जो सेकंड मेरा चैप्टर है उसमें बताया गया है कि गिलमिटिया साहित्य बनाम प्रवासी साहित्य है। यहाँ पे गिलमिटिया जो साहित्य है वो प्रवासी साहित्य का ही एक पार्ट माना जाता है, लेकिन प्रवासी साहित्य को साहित्यकार अलग करते हैं और गिलमिटिया साहित्य को अलग करते हैं, क्योंकि दोनों का जो विषय है वो दोनों के अलग विषय को दिखाया गया है। जहाँ पे गिलमिटिया ने जो त्रासदी को झेला या फिर जो उन्होंने टॉर्चर को झेला है उसे वो अपने साहित्य में रखते हैं, लेकिन जो प्रवासी साहित्य है उन्होंने जब बोलते ना स्वच्छंद होकर जब विदेश में हैं, वहां का जो वातावरण उन्होंने फील किया है उससे वो अपने साहित्य में लगते हैं। लेकिन देखा जाए तो गिलमिटिया साहित्य और प्रवासी साहित्य एक का ही पार्ट है, लेकिन उसे लोग अलग अलग तरीके से या फिर जो साहित्यकार होते हैं उसे अलग अलग तरीके से रखते हैं। तो यहाँ पे मैंने जो सेकेंड जो मेरा चैप्टर है उसमें मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्य बनाम साहित्य, यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ राइटर को रखा गया है जहाँ पे केवल वो प्रवासी साहित्य के रूप में माने जाते हैं और उनकी रचनाओं के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत बताया हुआ है। जो थर्ड मेरा चैप्टर है उसमें बताया गया है कि गिलमिटिया साहित्यकारों का परिचय। यहाँ पे मैंने अलग अलग पार्ट डिवाइड किया गया है, जैसे कि प्रवासी साहित्य को अलग रखा है और गिलमिटिया साहित्य को अलग रखा है। तो यहाँ पे मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्य जो कार है उनकी रचनाओं के बारे में, जो मेरा थर्ड चैप्टर है उसमें उनके बारे में बताया गया है, उनके जीवन के बारे में बताया गया है, क्योंकि हम कहते हैं साहित्य समाज का दर्पण होता है। जो साहित्यकार फील करता है या फिर जो अनुभव करता है वही अपने साहित्य में बताने की कोशिश करता है। तो इसलिए यहाँ पे मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्यकारों के जीवन के बारे में बताने की कोशिश की गई। जो मेरा फोर्थ चैप्टर है उसमें मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्य का कथानक लिया गया, उसकी स्टोरी ली गई है, जिनकी जो बहुत ज्यादा प्रसिद्ध उनकी रचनाएं हैं, उनकी रचनाओं के बारे में बताया। यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत मैंने एग्जाम्पल के लिए रखा गया है, अलग जो रचनाकार देंगे उन्हीं रचनाकारों की यहाँ पे मैंने थोड़ी सी रचना रखी गई है, जिससे पता चल सके कि उनके बारे में बताया गया है। जो फिफ्थ मेरा चैप्टर दिया गया है उसमें दिया गया है गिलमिटिया साहित्य का यथार्थ व्यक्त समस्याएं, क्योंकि जो गिलमिटिया है उनकी समस्याओं को ही लेकर उन्होंने क्या की थी, साहित्य को लिखा था, और उसे ही मैंने इस चैप्टर में या फिर इस अध्याय में मैंने बताने की कोशिश की गई है कि उन्होंने जो यातनाएं झेली थी या फिर उन्हें जो टॉर्चर किया गया था या फिर उन्हें जो समस्याएं फील की थी उसे ही उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने साहित्य में बताने की कोशिश की गई है। तो मतलब कि समाज से जुड़ी हुई या फिर सोसाइटी से जुड़ी हुई जो उन्होंने बोलते हैं ना फेस किया है प्रॉब्लम को, उसे ही यहाँ पे बताने की कोशिश की गई है। लास्ट जो मेरा चैप्टर है वो है गिलमिटिया साहित्य का शिल्प, भाषा शैली, क्योंकि जब गिलमिटिया जब गए थे विदेशों में तो उन्होंने अपनी भाषाओं को नहीं छोड़ा था, उन्होंने अपने धर्म को नहीं छोड़ा था, उनकी जो संस्कृति उनको उन्होंने नहीं छोड़ा था। तो यहाँ पे उन्होंने अपनी भाषाओं को भी साथ में लेके गए। एक एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे देते हो, क्योंकि जब ब्रिटिश शासन यहाँ के लोगों को लेके जा रहे थे तो उसमें अधिकांशतः लोग बिहार के थे और उत्तर प्रदेश के थे और कोलकाता के थे। तो यहाँ पे उनकी भाषाओं को भी रखा गया है कि जहाँ पे आपको ठेठ भोजपुरी भाषा को दिखाई देता है कि उन्होंने वहां पे गए लेकिन उनकी जो भाषा थी, उनकी जो मातृभाषा थी, उसे उन्होंने नहीं छोड़ा। तो यहाँ पे उसका एक एग्जाम्पल रखा गया है। सर 2 सेकेंड। यहाँ पे मेरा ये साहित्य करने मतलब कि इस पे शोध करने की क्या रीजन है, इस शोध के पीछे क्या रीजन है, क्यों मैंने शोध किया। तो मतलब कि हिंदी साहित्य में अगर देखा जाए तो प्रवासी साहित्य पे शोध किया गया है, लेकिन गिलमिटिया पे नहीं किया गया है, और यही रीजन है कि मैंने गिलमिटिया साहित्य लिया है। सेकंड, यहाँ पे ये बताया गया कि इसकी आवश्यकता क्या है। तो आने वाले समय में अगर जो हिंदी रुचिकार है या फिर जो हिंदी साहित्यकार है, उनके लिए एक कहते हैं ना आधार बन सकता है कि वो इस पे रिसर्च कर सकते हैं, या फिर उनके लिए एक आधार ग्रंथ हो सकता है। निष्कर्ष यही है कि गिलमिटिया साहित्य के बारे में रिसर्च ना होने के कारण मैंने इसे किया है। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर। Very good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Assistant Professor Dr. Jatin Patel. Presentation under RUSA sponsored and organized by Thakur College of Science and Commerce short-term training course program. My flow of presentation is introduction, research objectives and hypothesis, analysis, interpretations and findings of the study. The introduction of the topic, text literacy level, and empirical analysis on text literacy level of salaried individual. As we are aware that salaried individuals have only official tool to minimize the tax burden is tax planning, but how much we are aware of it. So the objective of these studies are to know the level of tax literacy among salaried individual and to know the relationship between age, education, gender and income level of salaried individual with tax literacy. Hence, my hypothesis are there is no significant association between gender, age, education and tax literacy level of salaried individual, whereas my null hypothesis is there is a significant association between gender, age, education and tax literacy level. Second null hypothesis is there is no significant association between income and tax literacy level of salaried individual. There is a significant association between income and tax literacy level of salaried individual. The data collection technique was primary data were collected in the form of questionnaire through Google form. 516 responses were collected by using non-probability convenience sampling. Due to lack of time and resources, this method was used for collecting data. The analysis and interpretation is here. As we can see, 68.8% respondents were male and 31.2% were female. With regards to age, majority respondents were in the category of 31 to 50 age, which is altogether makes around 60%. With regards to education, most of the respondents were either graduate or postgraduate, which makes around 87% of the total sample. With regards to income, majority respondents were in the income group of 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, which is as per income tax already exempt under section 87A. Accounts finance teachers must be aware of that 12,500 rebate they get. Coming to the statistical analysis, ANOVA test was applied to check the hypothesis, and wherein it was found that there exists a significant association between age, education and income of the respondents. Hence, the findings of the study were concluded as overall tax literacy level was 57.8% being a salaried individual, which is low, and tax literacy level among the male were higher as compared to the females. Then there is a positive relationship between age, education and income with the tax literacy level. Thank you.
पीडीएफ है,
पीपीटी जाएगा ना?
ऐसे कर लेंगे ना?
हाँ
पीडीएफ
ठीक
है
है,
तेरा?
हाँ ठीक है।
चलो स्टार्ट।
पीपीटी का पीपीटी है।
पीडीएफ है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एज पीडीएफ है तेरा।
चलिए।
पीडीएफ में अभी दे दो, चलो स्टार्ट।
Yes, good afternoon everyone. Myself Harshada Matre. I am a part of Department of Commerce TCSC. As my topic is to study awareness among the youth regarding artificial intelligence in climate change and sustainable development. Climate change poses a significant global challenge. Therefore, it is necessary to find out innovative solutions to the reduced impact of climate change. Artificial intelligence can help fight climate change by reducing emission, improving energy, and increasing use of renewable resources. And youth should be aware about the application of artificial intelligence for sustainable development and for combating climate change. So due to everlasting challenges caused by climate change, the call for innovation and sustainable solution has become more urgent than ever before. Next, objective of my study was to study awareness among the youth regarding artificial intelligence in climate change and sustainable development, to study how can AI be used to combat climate change, to promote sustainable behavior at individual and community level, and to spread awareness among the youth, climate change and different technologies that can be used for combating climate change. Then I have made two hypotheses. One is youth in Mumbai are aware about artificial intelligence for climate change. Youths in Mumbai are not aware about artificial intelligence for climate change. Then youths of Mumbai support artificial intelligence for combating climate change, and they are not supporting artificial intelligence for climate change. Research methodology. The study comes under the descriptive research. A survey method was conducted to conduct this research, and this is conducted among the people who are living in Mumbai. Under the survey method, both primary and secondary data was collected by creating Google form. The survey was shared among the various degree colleges students at Mumbai. As per data analysis and interpretation, 43.5% of total respondents says that climate change is a fluctuation in temperature. So 43.5% people are aware about what is climate change. And when we ask the question, are you aware about the technologies that would be assessed to resolve the climate change? 46% people know about that artificial intelligence can helpful in the climate change, and 54% was not knowing about the artificial intelligence can be helpful in climate change. Okay, then the next question on the basis of this, we have asked that whether they know about the technologies that can be helpful in climate change. 48% for 5% people responded that they are known about the carbon capture. 17.5% people know about the lab grown meat. 24.3% for the new wave nuclear power, and 65% for artificial intelligence. So many of them are aware about artificial intelligence. Then we have asked the question how the AI can be used to climate change improvement and sustainable development. 54% of the respondents prefer social media analytics and sentiment analysis can be useful in combating the climate change. Then we have asked the next.
Time.
Then we have come to the conclusion. The time hai abhi. Conclusion: on the basis of response received, the researchers find out that youth must be much aware about artificial intelligence and uses for mitigation of climate change, and youths have strong opinion that climate change can be achieved if the artificial intelligence is a future. 58.41% youth support that artificial intelligence can be useful in combating climate change. We have given suggestions as curriculum should be include topic artificial intelligence for increasing more awareness. Seminar and workshop should be conducted on artificial intelligence to improve the knowledge of youth about artificial intelligence. Government should focus on increasing resources
for increasing resources for adopting artificial intelligence, climate change, and for creating awareness, weaker section of the society, there should be a free awareness program must be conducted at state and central level. Limitation is the objective analysis cannot be drawn out of the response because concept of awareness is highly subjective in nature and study was unable to target the school students. क्या हुआ? अच्छा 5 मिनट तो नहीं हुआ,
आपने टाइमर लगाया था।
टाइमर चालू करने पर अलार्म तो नहीं बजा ना, अलार्म बजा नहीं ना, मतलब मैंने पहले कर दिया। कैसा था?
Measure the impact of Nikshay Yojana. Nikshay Yojana, me means no and share means to go close. So this is a pilot
क्योंकि
study
सब कवर करना था ना,
based on experimental research.
तो सर्वसाथी निष्ठा सर्वसाथी
Remains a significant public health change.
मनोज सर क्या बोलते
TB can
हैं?
cause death also. And there is
क्या
already
बोलते
government's
थे? मनोज सर क्या बोलते थे? स्कूल
policy of Nikshay Yojana. In which
एक्चुअली वो ना ये नहीं था,
to the TB patients.
टैप नहीं था, पीपीटी होता ना तो फटाफट चेंज कर देते उसको ट्रैक करना।
Even though there are a lot of death, okay, and the data is 20.4 lakh TB cases were notified in India in 2021, and there's an 18% increase in 2022 also. There's no decrease in the.
ये माझा टाइम एक्सटेंड झाला की बरोबर होता.
So my research question is there any significant difference in weight gain between
मला वाटलं माझा टाइम एक्सटेंड झाला पण मी सगळं कव्हर केलं.
Nikshay Yojana and those who are not receiving subsidy.
Did you please the last print? Last table, sorry.
And this is my research objective to compare the weight change
ये
between
सबमिट
patients
करना है
receiving
क्या?
these food nutrients and those who are not receiving.
इतना तो आराम से मैंने बोला भी नहीं, स्पीड बराबर थी तो फास्ट हो गई क्योंकि सर ने बोला मुझे लगा टाइमर
But variable is weight of the patient.
पर मैं सर को बोली सर टाइम है क्योंकि अकॉर्डिंग टू भी 3 या 4 मिनट्स बैठा.
And this is my research methodology. My data is quantitative data, and it is collected through observation over a period of 6 weeks. Type of sampling here they use judgment sampling based on inclusion and exclusion rate. The total population in Ulhasnagar area was 1500, and then we, in order to achieve homogeneity between both the groups, like experimental group and control group, we started reducing the samples based on that both the patients should not have diabetes, cholesterol, BP, etc. And at the end, the number came out to be 45 in experimental group and in control
मैंने
group.
2 मिनट में खत्म किया क्या? 5 मिनट होने आया बोला ना, हुआ नहीं.
Before treatment, that is food nutrients, and after the food that was given to the nutrients. This is my descriptive statistics. Now, whether the data is really homogeneous or not, whether I can use paired t test or not, this was checked through normality. So, in this case, the null hypothesis is opposite. That's why we cannot rely always on the null hypothesis. In this, the data collected has normal distribution, whereas alternative is that the data do not have normal distribution. The histogram was plot, as you can see from the plot, the data is normal and which is being tested to test of normality from a case test and also separate test. In his the p-value came out to 0.002. So we reject the null hypothesis, and here the null hypothesis is
उधर जाने के बाद ना फटके हाथ में आती है. I can understand. उधर जाने के बाद फटके हाथ में आ जाते हैं और वो टाइम लिमिट की वजह से ना इंस्टा नहीं, टाइम लिमिट की वजह से ना वो खबर
and this is my hypothesis testing that to as you can see the p-value is less than 0.05. So we came to the conclusion that yes, there is a significant difference in the weights of the patient, those who have received the food nutrients and those who have not received. My social implication that is my research will definitely help me impact of TB, Akshay Diksha Yojana. So, my limitation is sample size is small. And the factors like what nutrients means fruit, vegetable, millets, etc. Scope of future research. I mean, other researchers can take up this other factors like tablets, syrup, etc. for the holistic development applications. And in conclusion, yes, there is a significant difference. Diksha Yojana is the rate of yeah, yes, also and separate test also.
चार्ट चाहिए ना मैं ये मैं ही लेके आ गई
कैसे यूज करेंगे अभी जेब में कम इधर से
10 सेकंड बाकी ए भाई तू कितनी बार आएगा और जाएगा वो हेल्प भी कर रहा है इसलिए टीचर्स को लाके हेल्प कर रहा है स्टार्ट स्टार्ट
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Nilesh Pashilkar. Today I am going to present a research proposal on study on consumer perception and behavior towards quick commerce services with special reference to Mumbai district. So, this basically earlier we all used to buy the products or services from the traditional retailers, and that industry has changed. That industry has taken over by the e-commerce industries. But e-commerce industries also take a time to deliver the product or services at home. But that also got changed. Now the e-commerce industry, the place of e-commerce industries is taken by the quick commerce. So the concept of the quick commerce is what you can say, delivering the goods or products at the earliest time within an hour, or I can say within 30 minutes at your home. Basically, this industry is dominating by the major market player, that is what the Zepto, Swiggy, Instagram, and Zomato, and the Unzo. These are all the market players who are dominating this industry. They are delivering their products within a 30 minutes to the customer at door place. So basically, this study the proposal is based on to find out what is the consumer perceptions and behaviors on the with respect to the retail sectors, providing consumers with the unparalleled convenience and access to the diverse area of the products and service. Through the structures of questionnaires, the research examines the factors driving the consumer preference for the QC platform. Here the QC stand for the quick commerce over the traditional stores, as well as their satisfaction with the overall shopping experience. So this research paper explored the consumer perception behavior regards quick commerce services with special emphasis on the Mumbai district. So quick commerce distinguishes by its swift delivering times and has emerged as a significant contender in the retail realm, offering the consumers convenience and immediacy. By examining the aspects such as the delivery speed, reliability, product variety, and customer satisfaction, this study aims to furnish valuable insights for the businesses operating in the quick commerce sectors. So the introduction part is the retail industry has experienced an important transformation in the recent times. Earlier it was what you can say, industry was market share was retail industry was sharing the traditional retail industry was sharing the lots of market share, higher market share, but it has converted and now it is taken over by the e-commerce. So my review of literature is study on the consumer review of, okay. My research methodology is Research in this particular project was done to find out the perception and behavior consumers toward the quick commerce, particularly in the Mumbai district. Research is systematic and structured strategies for the gathering, recording, and analyzing data with the goal of assisting in business decision making. It includes a methodological and scientific investigation in which the investigator carefully examines the fact in order to unearth the thorough understanding of the topic. My objective is to study consumption pattern towards the quick commerce services, to study spending patterns on the quick commerce platform, to analyze the key factors influencing the consumer decision to opt for the quick commerce platform, and the last, to gauge the consumer satisfaction level regarding the overall shopping experience on the quick commerce platform. For this, I will be go for source primary or secondary data. In case of primary data, the data will be collected through the survey, through the Google form, and if you, for the secondary data will be collected through the journals, articles, research paper, etc. My sampling frame will be the Mumbai district only, because this topic is restricted with the Mumbai district. So my sampling frame will be Mumbai district, and my sample size will be around minimum 200 size. 200. I will be collecting data from the 200 responses. This is what the minimum. I can go to, till the 387 or around 400. So I will be collecting response at least from 200 responses. The strategical tools for analysis is sampling techniques. It will be done by either by the simple random sampling or by the convenience sampling, that is what the probability, or by the non-probability. So this is all about the proposal. Thank you so much.
20 seconds left. Next person. Nilima, you are now? Just. So you can keep it in your hand.
Yeah, I'll be a little more relaxed.
एक मिनट यू पुटिंग इट द रॉन्ग वे
अच्छा ऐसा क्या? Thank you. So I'll begin this presentation with the disclaimer that this is still an ongoing work and there's a lot I need to do, especially with reference to the translation framework that I'm proposing, which revolves around the philosophy of language, which I'm still researching upon. So let's begin with that. The title of the presentation is Rendering Experience Translating Gyanendra Pati's Sanshay Atma into English. Why experience? I'll explain later in the PPT. So this is my flow. I begin with an introduction to Gyanendra Pati. So Gyanendra Pati started writing in the 70s and 80s, and this was the time when Hindi literature was influenced by the Marxist ideals present in the Naxalite movement. Now, a consequence of that was that poetry took a back step, form took a back step in Hindi poetry, and ideology came to the forefront. In spite of that, Gyanendra Pati still emphasizes on form. He is from the tradition of Nirala. He emphasizes on lyricality, and there are cosmopolitan themes, contemporary themes of environmentalism also present in his poems. All right, so he's clearly a very pertinent, eminent poet of our times, right? So why have I taken Sanshay Atma? Sanshay Atma is one poetry collection by Gyanendra Pati. You might ask why just one poetry collection? Because it has 153 poems. Apart from this is the winner of the Sahitya Akademi Award in 2006. All the Sahitya Akademi Award winning books have to be translated into other Indian languages, but for some reason, probably because this is a giant work, mammoth work of 153 poems, this particular collection has not been translated into English yet. It has been translated into Marathi by Praful Shildar and has won many awards. The Marathi translations have won awards, so clearly the work has been acknowledged for how impactful it has been in Indian literature. Okay. So the objectives of my study would be translating the 153 Hindi poems in Gyanendra Pati's poetry collection Sanshayatma, creating a critical understanding of Gyanendra Pati's poetry through the English translations, as in analyzing the quality of the poems, analyzing the linguistic, cultural and stylistic challenges that are involved in translating the poems of Gyanendra Pati into English. So what are the challenges that a translator faces while translating a poem, because this is an academic work, so we have to elaborate on that as well. And how do we solve them, of course. And then I propose a framework of translation involving the senses, collective memory and living experience. Okay. The lived experience instead of going by just translating the meaning. Okay. Now, coming to the discourse on translation studies, why I say experience and not meaning, because meaning tends to trap translation into the dilemma of loss and gain, which has been holding back translation studies, which is the deliberation on all the translation that happens in the world. Has been, holding back translation studies in many ways. All right. So translation is seen as secondary, and it is seen as an inferior act and whatnot. But if we translate with experience, we are translating what people feel, what people have lived, and we are not just translating meaning. So here the conversation moves away from loss and gain. All right. With more time, I would elaborate on this perhaps later. For the process of translation, the methodology I've chosen, I'll be following Robert Bly's The 8 Stages of Translation. That will be the cornerstone. Following that, we'll do a literal translation in the first stage. Second stage will be about visual imagery. Third stage will be about the mood, capturing the mood or tone of the poem, followed by the fifth stage, which will be, I'm so sorry about the typo, by the way, which will be the translators will create a rhythm in the poem. Okay. This is an example of how I plan to translate. And the conclusion, can I conclude?
Yeah.
Okay, so the study aims to creatively translate Sanshay Atma from Hindi into English, and examining the linguistic and stylistic and aesthetic challenges in the process. These are some of my references. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to everybody present here. My topic for the day is The Influence of Atomic Habits by James Clear, analyzing its impact on readers' behavior and habit formation. So just a little background, I've selected this topic because I have actually read the book, and I did develop the habit of walking for like 1 year after reading the book. So that is why it intrigued me, and then when I searched over the internet, it has actually impacted people's lives. So I wanted to analyze it more further. So my analysis. So introduction, basically what I am going to explore, I aim to explore in this entire study is that I want to see that how this popular growth model will help everyone, every reader to develop habits, sustain them, and then eventually what are the psychological and emotional impacts of it on people's lives. So this is just a picture of what the 4 laws are. So these laws are tools that James Clear provides to its audience so that they can follow this and build habits. So it's like making it obvious, attractive, easy and satisfying. So if you follow all these 4 steps, you will definitely be able to generate one habit that you wish to. So my objectives with that perspective would be to examine the behavior changes that are experienced by the readers,
to explore the long-term sustainability of the habits, as after developing them, they also have to sustain it, and to understand the psychological and motivational impact of the study. So this is also, actually this entire thing is inspired by this entire course that we are doing, and that day DKT sir and Nishikant sir suggested that what can be the methodologies that we can include in descriptive studies. So that is how it inspired me. So that is why I haven't done it, but I have just made a like hypothetical thing. So thank you. So in this I would be using surveys and questionnaires, interviews. So surveys will go in quantitative and quantitative, and interviews will go in qualitative. Case studies will also be taken up, as a lot of people have done it. And so case studies will explore individual readers. Online discussion forum analysis will also be done, because people have commented on this. And there's also a website by James Clear, wherein he is providing more frameworks and tools for people to generate habits, like tables. You have a checklist table and things like that. There's a crunch of time, so what will be my sample size and sample type? I haven't typed the size there, but I assume that we'll take 500 for this, because it is anyway a mixed bag of audiences, like personal interviews and case studies and then questionnaires. So there's a lot. So I guess I will start with taking a sample of 500. I have less time. Okay, and the type of people that I will take with, first based on different age groups. So 18 to 25, 26 to 40, 41 to 60, and 60 plus. I will judge them on the basis of occupations, as their habits will depend highly on them. The educational level will also matter in terms of what are going to be the habits they want to generate. And these are some of the possible outcomes after that. So I think I will be able to identify the key behavioral changes that they got after doing this study on themselves, reading the book and then implying it in their lives. And the variations in impact across demographics. I say demographics here because I've taken people from different occupations, people of different age, and people of different type. Then some popular strategies for habit formation can also come in here, and maybe we can include them to teach our students as well how they can generate habits like reading and stuff. Lastly, maybe we can also find out the challenges that the readers face when they are trying to follow all the 4 laws suggested by James Clear. And with this, I'm done. Thank you so much.
2 seconds left.
I have the timer. 36 seconds.
Very good.
Thank you.
Done. Thank you.
Start. Okay, I'm presenting my study as well as one of the pilot study, where I'm trying to compare here the western coast of Maharashtra with eastern coast. Already the work for western coast is completed. The same I'm going to apply later on for western coast of Maharashtra. Basically, my concept is how landscape zoning is important for study, and I have completely chosen it on my background of geography. Speaking about the background as well as the objective, my own very most important objective is that the coastal tract particularly is encroached by the anthropogenic activities, particularly in terms of different type of industries as well as the tourism sector, but unplanned tourism sector. So such type of problem is creating the issues for the fisheries and other activities, particularly even for agriculture. Thus, a proper land use or landscape zoning plan has to be created, which even the government also have mentioned, but this plan of government is in draft stage still now. So this I am working on the draft plan of government to continue with my study and comparing that study with eastern and western coast of Maharashtra. All the maps here are prepared by me in ArcGIS. Study profile of my area right now with map of India, map of Maharashtra, in that Sindhudurg, and in that the map of coastal tract of Sindhudurg, explaining the coastal CRZ line as accordance with the rules of CRZ management zone. Methodology, methodology is mixed of where the data collection is maximum through field visit. The photographs present in the slides are taken by me. Zoning approach here, the zone according to as per again the plan which is in draft stage prepared by government is done. Analysis I have done with the help of GIS, RGIS software is used. Then biodiversity action plan, the data has been used. Resource mapping is done with the help of biological creatures present, but in terms of the short presentation, resource mapping in the biological and zoological sense, I have kept it a bit aside. Study area wherein important areas were identified as these areas were encouraged in terms of the non-agricultural activities, particularly these areas were having more of the industrial zones, but again government have rejected this plan where people have approached the government. One of the most important thing which I have identified is that we went to Malvan here, and from Malvan there is one distance place in Arabian Sea, that is Angria Bank. Now this Angria Bank is a good potential for tourism, which is an hidden potential where maximum people have not yet visited, but this is a good biological site where people can go. Mapping done. Here I was standing, and these are the migratory birds. That is the exact zone there. This shows that how, because of the encroachments and because of different type of activities, particularly the anthropogenic activities, even the migratory birds they were there, but now slowly and gradually these migrating birds are not there. Photograph taken in 2016. Photograph taken in 2019, same place. I was standing here on the hill. Photograph of the lake near Reddy here. This is the lake. This imagery is the Google imagery, which is again filmed even in 2013. Coming to the conclusion, excluding this part, that what type of resource allocation Sindhudurg should plan. Sindhudurg is mostly the tourism district of India, and because Maharashtra, and because this is a tourism district, landscape zoning plan should be completely based on tourism, and here the industrial activities should not be, or should be given the least priority. So that thing I have kept into mind, and based upon the actual coastal zone map, this I have prepared with the help of satellite imagery and ArcGIS. So based upon the actual mapping, actual origins, original ideas, as well as what exactly the biodiversity is, based on that I have prepared this landscape zoning plan, which I want to propose to the government, stating that these are the villages in Sindhudurg region where definitely there should be no industries, and completely this area should focus on three main activities: agriculture, fishery and tourism. Thank you.
7 seconds.
Thank you again.
All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to tell you all that this is an ongoing research. Yesterday, Dr. Pandey spoke something. He used the term knowledge curse. So I would like to elaborate a bit about what I would be explaining. So under Indian Contract Act 1872, there are three types of contracts: valid contract, void contract and voidable. So let's just focus upon valid and void contracts. So valid contract is like a perfect contract. The obligations are met, it's perfect. Okay, there is consideration, there is promise, there is performance. And void contract is something which includes some sort of illegality in it, some sort of immoral things, or something relating to contradiction to law. So what do you understand by wagering agreement? I'll just give an example. Let's say Nishikant sir and Neerav sir are playing Uno, and in that Nishikant sir got a stamp paper, and in that stamp paper he is entering into a contract with Nirav sir where he has written if he wins this game, then he would be getting 10,000. And let's say Nishikant sir wins the game, but Nirav sir is not giving him 10,000. Can he approach the court?
No.
Are you sure? Okay, sorry. all right. Let's change let's just change the scenario a bit. Instead of stamp paper, now we'll put in these 4 members and they are playing carom, and now they have written it on a blank paper. Same scenario, winning, the party who wins doesn't get the money. Can that person approach the court?
Yes.
No.
They're playing carom, here they were playing Uno, here there is a stamp paper, here there is a blank paper.
No.
Okay, so what you people were doing was exactly the base of gambling. But then what about Mahalakshmi race course? Why are the horse still racing there? Why are the elites going and betting? Let's talk about online gaming, Jungli Rummy, Rummy Circle, even lotteries by government. What is this thing? So there is a little loophole in law, which is the it's the indeterminate territory grey area. So to be very specific, our laws are some like this, particularly the wagering laws come from the Public Gambling Act 1867, which is the centralized one. Now when we talk about this particular act which is centralized, हर स्टेट को अलग अलग लॉज चूज करने के प्रिविलेज मिला है. क्यों? बिकॉज इट कम्स अंडर द स्टेट लिस्ट. महाराष्ट्र हैज डिफरेंट लॉज, गुजरात हैज डिफरेंट लॉज pertaining to wagering segment. Now when we talk about Goa, onshore, offshore, they are allowed to have casinos. When we talk about Gujarat, they have banned it completely. And when we talk about Tamil Nadu, of course they have banned it again. But there is another loophole which is government lotteries. So my research, which is again ongoing, focuses on this particular loophole. So what we are doing is, oh my god, I did not show the slides. This is the abstract, introduction, problem statement. I'll jump to the problem statement, sorry. Firstly, there is an outdated legislation. Objectives, whatever there was, the legal jargons, I have just simplified it. This is the problem statement. So firstly, there is an outdated legislation which belongs to 1967, which was made by the Britishers. Then this law is very state specific. State specific मतलब अपने convenience के हिसाब में सबने अपना law ले लिया है. Then the growth of online gambling, there are no provisions. When we talk about, just 2 minutes, okay? Sorry. Okay, this is a tricky regulation because there is no act regulating the online gambling area, Jungli Rummy and others. The sociological aspect, I'm just jumping here because recently there was a NEET aspirant, 19 years old, due to this online gambling thing, he committed suicide. I will jump to conclusion because I have less time. So first, what we are doing is there's a dire need for amendment in the existing wager laws, followed by inclusivity of it in the center list, not concurrent, neither the state list. And in the policy, I would like to suggest that clearly define what wagering laws are, what gambling laws are, and just make a elaborate definitions and interpretation clause of it. And there's one more thing, which is responsible gambling. Limit on the betting amount. There should be strict verifications made, and there should be regulation on online betting. There should also be taxation framework because government can earn certain revenue on gambling.
I know, I told them. Okay.
Yeah, and there should be a proper redressal agencies, that is monitoring and enforcement through tribunals. We are not telling that there should be a legit courts or sessions courts, but just a tribunal which is quasi-judicial authority, and add restrictions. That's it. Thank you.
Mike, keep the mic first. Thank you. ऐसे स्क्रॉल करना, तुम सबने PDF दिया है।
ये वाला ना?
हाँ, ये नीचे। ऐसे पेज डाउन। चलो स्वागत है, मैंने बोल आप स्टार्ट।
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम जयराज रखमे।
मेरा शीर्षक है मुंबई में किशोरों के बीच में प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता। प्रोजेक्ट का सारांश मुंबई में किशोरों के बीच में प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता पर शोध पत्र का सारांश। इसे शोध पत्र में मुंबई में किशोरों के बीच प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता का अध्ययन किया गया है। इस अध्ययन में हमने 5 किशोरों का सर्वेक्षण किया और पाया कि अधिकांश किशोर प्रेमचंद की कहानियों से परिचित नहीं है और जिन किशोरों ने प्रेमचंद की कहानियाँ पढ़ी है वे उनकी सामाजिक और नैतिक मूल्यों की प्रशंसा करते हैं। किशोरों को प्रेमचंद की कहानियों के पात्र और कथानक आकर्षक लगते हैं। अधिकांश किशोर प्रेमचंद की कहानियों को अपने जीवन से जुड़ा हुआ महसूस करते हैं। परिचय। प्रेमचंद आधुनिक हिंदी साहित्य की चेतना रूपांतर के बड़े लेखक हैं। उन्होंने अपने परिवर्ती लेखकों का मानस विस्तार कर सर्वाधिक प्रभावित किया। प्रेमचंद सभी लेखकों के प्रेरणा स्थान बने और युवा पीढ़ी के भी प्रेरणा स्थान बने हैं। छात्रों को किसी विषय या वस्तु की कीमत क्यों सिखाते हैं, प्रेमचंद की कहानी में हमें पता चलता है, सीखने मिलता है। वैचारिक पृष्ठभूमि। प्रेमचंद का हृदय संकुचित राष्ट्रवाद के ऊपर था। डॉक्टर रामविलास वर्मा का मत है। प्रेमचंद एक कालजयी कहानीकार थे, कला के पक्षधर रचनाकार थे। वे कला को वहीं तक स्वीकार करते थे जहाँ तक कि वह मनुष्य के लिए उपयोगी है। कहानी छोटे मुंह बड़ी बात करती है, नामवर सिंह। समस्या कथन। आजकल के बच्चे कला को छोड़ रहे हैं। प्रेमचंद की कहानी के माध्यम से बच्चों में कला साहित्य के लिए उत्साहित कर सकती है। कहानियों के जरिए जुनून, भय, उदासी, कठिनाइयों और खुशियों को साझा किया जा सकता है। शोध का उद्देश्य मुंबई में किशोरों के बीच में प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता को ढूंढना। परिकल्पना। प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता को जानते हैं और नहीं जानते हैं। शोध पद्धति। इस अध्ययन में भाग लेने के लिए धन्यवाद। मतलब सर्वे किया है। आपकी प्रतिक्रिया हमें मुंबई में किशोरों के बीच में प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता को समझने में मदद करेगी। जनसांख्यिकी। आयु, लिंग, पुरुष, महिला, अन्य, शिक्षा कक्षा, स्कूल, कॉलेज का नाम, पसंदीदा विषय, सभी लागू होने वाले चिन्हित करें। भाषाएं हिंदी, अंग्रेजी आदि, सामाजिक विज्ञान, गणित, अन्य निर्दिष्ट करें। प्रेमचंद से परिचय। क्या आपने मुंशी प्रेमचंद के बारे में सुना है? हाँ, नहीं। क्या आपने प्रेमचंद की कोई कहानी पढ़ी है? हाँ, नहीं। यदि हाँ तो आपने कौन सी कहानियाँ पढ़ी है? सूची। आपने प्रेमचंद के बारे में कैसे जाना? सभी लागू होने वाले को चिन्हित करें। स्कूल पाठ्यक्रम, परिवार, मित्र, सोशल मीडिया, ऑनलाइन खोज, अन्य। कृपया प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की प्रासंगिकता। क्या आपको लगता है कि प्रेमचंद की कहानियाँ आपके जीवन के लिए प्रासंगिक है? हाँ, नहीं, अनिश्चित। प्रेमचंद की कहानियों में कौन से विषय आपको पसंद है? सभी लागू होने वाले को चिन्हित करें। सामाजिक न्याय, नैतिकता, प्रेम, परिवार, मित्रता, अन्य। कृपया निर्दिष्ट करें। प्रेमचंद की कहानियाँ आपको कैसे महसूस कराती है? सभी लागू होने वाले चिन्हों को चिन्हित करें। प्रेरित, चिंतनशील, भावुक, ऊब, अन्य। कृपया निर्दिष्ट करें। क्या आपको लगता है कि प्रेमचंद की कहानियाँ सामाजिक मुद्दों को समझने में आपकी मदद कर सकती है? हाँ, नहीं, निश्चित। पढ़ने की आदत। आप कितनी बार उपन्यास पढ़ते हैं? दैनिक, साप्ताहिक, मासिक, शायद ही कभी। आप कौन सी विधाएं पसंद करते हैं? सभी लागू होने वाली विकल्पों पर निशान करें। रोम। ठीक है जी। खुलेआम सवाल। क्या आपको लगता है कि प्रास्ताविक अध्ययन का निहित प्रासंगिकता? प्रेमचंद ने हिंदी साहित्य को निश्चित दिशा प्रदान की है। प्रेमचंद आज भी उतने ही प्रासंगिक है जितने अपने दौर में रहे हैं, बल्कि किसान के जीवन की उनकी पकड़ और समझ को देखते हुए उसकी प्रासंगिकता और अधिक बढ़ जाती है। किसान जीवन के यथार्थवादी चित्रण में प्रेमचंद की हिंदी साहित्य में अनूठे और लाजवाब रचनाकार रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
वो भी सुविधा कल बोल रहे थे लास्ट आज के लिए पहले
So, my research topic is the relationship between literature and film, a comparative study of The Last Leaf and Lutera. Because I am from literature background and I am a part of BMMC department, so I thought this is the best amalgamation that I can get of both my favorites. Now, just the introduction that basically, let's go to history first. Initially, people used art and books for entertainment, and then we got motion pictures, and then movies were invented. And when movies were invented, those movies were based on the books and short stories and the oral stories that were passed on from generation to generation. So that is how these Bollywood as well as Hollywood movies were made. Now, this study focuses on the short story The Last Leaf and Lutera, that is an adaptation, cinematic adaptation of the Bollywood film. I mean the short story. So, now, The Last Leaf is basically, there's a girl who is affected by pneumonia, and there's a last leaf, and she is holding on to the hope of the last leaf. When it falls, she will die, but her neighbor helps her by drawing the last leaf, and in that help, he sacrifices himself. Lutera is based on that, but Bollywood has taken their own cinematic liberties. They have a lot of tragedy, death, and emotions of love in Bollywood. Whereas in The Last Leaf, there was no sort of love anywhere. It was just a sympathy and empathy towards the girl, towards the neighbor. Now, then we go to the objective of the study. So the objective is to examine the core themes of hope, sacrifice, and resilience in both The Last Leaf and Lutera, highlighting how these themes resonate across different cultures, different backgrounds, and throughout all the time. Because the themes of hope and love and resilience are time bound. They are never going to die. They're always going to be there, no matter how many generations, no matter how many yugs we go through. Then we also go to the symbolism, that is particularly The Last Leaf, and how it serves as a motif in both the short film and the short story, contributing to the overall message and emotional impact. Now, investigating also how cultural settings of earlier 20th century America and contemporary influences of modern India have played a role in the movie and the making of the movie. Then we also go to how the process of adaptation has kind of interpreted The Last Leaf, how Vikramaditya Motwane has interpreted Last Leaf into Lutera, into the Bollywood scenario, into the Indian scenario. Now, the abstract is basically a comparative analysis of O. Henry's short story. Both works delve into universal themes of hope, love, and sacrifice, yet their contextual frameworks differ significantly. So there are policemen in Lutera, there is no policeman in The Last Leaf. It is just very plain and simple. Last Leaf is a short story, so it is very plain and simple. Bollywood has added a lot of masala, a lot of creativity, liberties have been taken. Now, ultimately, the research not only emphasizes the transformative power of adaptations, but also underscores the enduring relevance of classic narratives in addressing contemporary human experiences. Like a short story can give the emotions and express emotions way better than the movies. Now, the outcome. The outcome basically is just that the symbolisms are elucidating how this motif serves as a powerful connector between the literature and the motion picture. Now, the findings are basically highlighting the transformative nature of retelling stories in their own creative liberties, and also resonating it to the audiences. Because Lutera was based in Kolkata, it resonated with the Indian audiences very, very, very well. And it's just the methodology I have not included in my PPT, but the methodology is, first it is quantitative, because it is a quantitative comparative study. So we'll do that with The Last Leaf and with Lutera. Then there's interpretative analysis, where it will focus on the deeper meaning of the themes that were used in Lutera and Last Leaf, and the motifs that were in both cinematic and literary texts. Now, data collection. Primary would be literary text and the film text, that would be the primary collection. Secondary would be academic papers, literary critiques, and film reviews of the background context supporting the analysis and historical relevance. Thank you.
Wow. 3 seconds to go.
एग्रीकल्चर ना
ये लगाना पड़ेगा, कहाँ लगाऊं? इसमें लगा दूं? नहीं लग रहा है यार।
Next करते जाओ.
हाँ, yeah, good evening.
All please pay attention.
Yeah, my topic is agriculture sustainability in Maharashtra. What are the challenges Maharashtra is facing for agriculture sustainability? Right, India has 320 million hectare land is present under the India. Out of 328, 58% of land is cultivable land. And agriculture is still the backbone of our Indian economy. Though the contribution of agriculture in the GDP has been reduced, but still it's provide or large number of people are dependent on the agriculture because it gives the employment to the people, right? Many industries are also dependent on agriculture for getting the raw material, and agriculture itself is also dependent on other industry for getting the fertilizers and the fertilizers or the pesticides or other raw materials on the industries, right? Since 1962, we will find the use of the chemical fertilizer and chemical pesticides in agriculture field has been increased. And why we demand of the chemicals in the agriculture has been increased? To increase the fertility of the soil, and we got success in increasing the fertility of the soil for shorter period of time, because we know in the future this chemical will be responsible for reducing the soil. That's why there is a need to sustainable agriculture. Objective is to study the impact of agriculture condition on sustainable agriculture development in Maharashtra, to analyze the impact of using chemical fertilizers, pesticides on agriculture productivity and on Maharashtra. Methodology, secondary data is there, collecting the data from different websites published by the Department of Agriculture in Government of Maharashtra and research journals. Now finding, as I said it, chemical fertilizers we not succeed, but it is for shorter period of time. If we will make a continuous use of it, the soil will reduce its fertility. Maharashtra has to take it seriously how to make the agriculture sustainable agriculture. Otherwise, Punjab is already moving towards the desertification. Maharashtra will next, after the Punjab, moving toward the desertification. But still, we will find in Maharashtra use or consumption of chemical is on a large scale. I have given the finding how much chemical fertilizers they are using and pesticides is using, but there is no relation of the pesticides with the production. That doesn't mean if you are using the pesticides and chemical, production of agriculture is increasing. It's not there. Consumption of chemical is increasing, but production is decreasing, right? For example, yes, right? For example, there in Yavatmala, oil consumption of pesticides has been increased, but production of oil seeds has been reduced. So government has to ban on the pesticides. Already government has given the 18 name of the 18 pesticides on which the farmers has to not use it, but they are still using it. Research अभी आगे चल रही है, मेरी हुई नहीं है.
Very good.
Yes.
डेढ़ मिनट बचा था. वेरी गुड.
Yes. ठीक था.
Good evening, everyone. I am presenting my research paper, and the title of my research paper is Investment Perceptions of the Investors on New Fund Offers with the reference to Vasai area. So this is the content of the PPT. This is the abstract. Now NFO new funds offer. New funds offer is investing companies the first subscription offering The new, the first subscription offering for the new fund. When a fund is created, new fund offers occurs, allowing the business to raise the fund to purchase an asset. Mutual fund are the most popular fund who offers the providing the investing funds. This is the introduction of the NFO. What is the NFO and the types of NFO, new funds offer? There are basically three types of new funds offer. First is open-ended, second is closed-ended, and third is exchange traded funds. Now, these are the literature review of this study, and from this literature review, I have find the research gap, and according to the gap, these are the methodology of my research. My research objective is to determine the relationship between age and the investment preferences and ascertain the level of awareness based on the gender of the NFO. And according to my second objective, I have created the hypothesis, the null hypothesis. There is no significant difference between investment gender and new fund offer mutual fund awareness. The study is limited to Vasai area only. The sources of the data, the current study is based on primary data acquired using the questionnaire approach. The size of sample, I have collected actually 67, but because of lack of data given by the investors, the 60 sample is taken into the survey. Data is collected using the questionnaire and given the questionnaire to the investor and collected the data. And statistical tool, I have used the chi-square test in my data. Assuming that there is a 95% confidence level and 5% significant level of significance. This is the normal demographic variables are there. The main data analysis of my study, I have used chi-square test, and chi-square test, the p-value is 0.009. So based on my hypothesis answer, we reject the null hypothesis, and I conclude that there is a significant difference between the investment gender and new fund offers. So I conclude with this. This is my references. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Vishal Vishwakarma from Accountancy Department, and my topic is Youth and the Financial Literacy with the reference to the working student at the degree college. I selected this topic because last year I teach FY BMS student financial literacy subject, and my abstract is to be social media and the exposure to the financial education has contributed toward the increasing financial literacy of the investor, and basically the present study is attempt to find out the financial literacy of the working students, and the number of participation, like number of students, 200 working students of the UG and the PG classes. And I use the keywords like financial literacy, working students, and the youth, investment, and the saving. And the third one, introduction part. The financial literacy refers to the understanding and the effectively using the various financial skills like budgeting, saving, investing, borrowing, taxation, and the personal finance management. Financial literacy can help you make informed and effective decision about your finance. It can improve your financial well-being as the resilience. As per one of the survey of Association of Mutual Fund of India, there was 72% population is unaware of how much money invested to achieve the financial freedom, and the 56% of lack of the financial knowledge, and the 76% believe that there is an urgent need of education in the financial knowledge. And sir, as per your direction, research gap. So from the review of literatures, many researchers did not come across any research on the financial literacy on the working student depending upon the parents' education and income in Mumbai. Therefore, this research is an attempt to fill up this gap. And the research methodology, basically, I made the hypothesis on the basis of the research objective. My objective is to study the impact of the parents' income on the financial literacy of the working students, and to explore the opinion of working students toward the maintaining financial record. And my limitation, like study limitation research will be Mumbai region only from Daisar to Andheri, and hypothesis based on the objective purpose. There is no relation between the father income and the investment avenue selected by the working students. These are my first objective related, and the second hypothesis based on second objective. There is no relationship between manner in which financial record maintained by UG and PG student. Sources of data based on the primary data by questionnaire method. There was using the sampling method and the convenient sampling method, data collection by the Google form, and the statistical instrument we using the chi-square test, and the research methodology that is questionnaire. As per the direction of Nishikant sir, questionnaire based on the hypothesis. So I made this questionnaire, and this is the reference. Thank you. Sir.
मैं बोला पहले ही आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, आपने किसी को पूछा नहीं, आप यहाँ नहीं पूछ सकते हो। मैं बोला ना पहले पूछे। मैं क्या बोला था, मेरे को ही पूछेंगे। So good evening. My topic is about the understanding the impact of merger and acquisition activities of Indian banking sector from customers' perception. These days, there is a very common phenomena by the government that what they do, they are merging, or what they are doing. They are basically, it started with the government banks, and these days, even private banks started to merge. So under merging, what happens that to decrease their operational cost or to improve their, to show their efficiency, what they do, basically they merge the banks. But at the time of merging, they are not aware about what is the customer's perception, whether the customers are happy with this or they don't happy with this. So this topic is all about that, and this is the background of the study. Basically, I wanted to find out, what is the customer's perception, whether the customer is satisfied with this, the services, the quality of the services, the charges which the bank charging after the, merging. So this is all this is the literature review done by me. The very popular paper is the Corder, who was written in 2008, very highly cited paper. Basically, what he has done in Germany, he has conducted he has conducted a survey to find out whether after merging the banks, whether they provide the services before and after. So it came out there, drastically well that after merging, the banks are reducing their cost and offering customer a better prospect. So this is the two objectives I have taken here in my study. The first one, I wanted to find out that what is the customer satisfaction level, the customer's loyalty, considering the factors such as the quality, accessibility, trust, and perceived value. Along with that, after merging, whether the operational cost is reduced or not is also one of the objectives. The research methodology which I have followed here is basically the sampling and all is based on the convincing model, where I am just going to select the samples as per my convenience, and random sampling basically. And the one of the limitation you can say that I have collected the data from 25 to 40 years of age group, which can be a limitation also. And I have collected total data of 515 customers, because during this short span of time collecting data from 1,000 people is almost impossible. But still I managed to get it. I managed to got 515 customers feedback. During my studies, I have gone through the secondary data as well and the primary data as well. And this is the research design. After applying the statistics tool, for example, the model which I have followed here is basically I have gone to the descriptive statistics application tool. This is non-parametric basically. So my findings are that around 70% of the customers are basically 70% of the customers basically they are satisfied with the quality after the merging of the bank, and at the same time 20% people are not satisfied. About the service accessibility, whether the bank staff is available or they are not available, 62% people are dissatisfied and the 20% people are not satisfied. About the trust factor, 43% people are dissatisfied, means when I am saying people it means customer, and 27% customers are not satisfied. The value, the perceived brand's value is about 47% people are satisfied and 23% people are not satisfied. About the overall efficiency of the bank, the satisfaction level is very high. You can say around 65% people are satisfied and 18% people are not satisfied. In my survey now, you can say the conclusion about. Basically, we got the mixed review of the customer. Even if the 20% of the population is not satisfied with this, is this still banks are supposed to manage with their, their procedures. And but the improvement, we have seen a significant improvement in their quality, but still banks are required to manage with their systems, and they need to give more satisfaction to the customer in terms of satisfaction level. About that, apart from this, this study is all about giving government. I'm also working on that. This is also one of the paper where I'm doing PhD. I have put under the guidance of Nishikant sir. So what happens there? Here now we are going to find out the operational efficiency, whether the customers are happy with the satisfaction or not. And what happens that here, after getting it that getting on these papers, we are going to find out that how much customers are satisfied with the brands, and whether this merging is really in the sense or not. So as per my studies, this is almost in the sense. Almost customers are 65% customers are overall happy with the brands, and out of the 70% customers are satisfied. They are satisfied in terms of means they are happy that their funds are secure with the government now. So this is the conclusion. Thank you so much.
1 second more. That's it.
और मतलब वो आपने जो साइड में बोला
बोलने भी नहीं देता
24. Good evening, everyone. My topic is a study on consumer attitude towards the digital payment. So as we know, in early human societies, there were barter system where we used to exchange goods and services in exchange of goods and services. After that, the coins and currencies came into existence, which made transactions more easy and convenient. Then nowadays, as we all know, now we are having everything on digital platforms, so we are moving towards digital transaction. Now, when we are talking about digital transaction, so whenever we are doing any transaction, so we are using either any mobile banking, internet banking, UPI, or any other app. So, in this study, basically I have done 2 literature reviews, and objectives of my study is to examine the gender and age of respondent with respect to digital payment, to analyze the impact of customers, education and their profession on the usage of digital payment, to study the importance of digital payment in their daily life of consumer, and to know the most preferred platform which are used by the customer. And I have framed 2 hypotheses here. The first one is the gender and age of respondent do not have any significant impact on digital payment, and the alternative hypothesis is that they have significant impact. Hypothesis 2 will be the usage of digital payment is not significantly affected by the education and professional level of respondent, and H1 is whereas alternative is it is affected, it is significantly affected. Now here I have the research methodology is I'll collect data from both primary and secondary sources, and the sample size will be 400. Now this research is under process. I have prepared questionnaire, but the data I have not yet collected. So this is in process.
25 नंबर निकाला सर, मेरा पीपीटी निकाला
ऐसा ही है
पीपीटी है क्या?
पीपीटी दिया है क्या?
नीचे वाला देखो पीपीटी है 20 है तो उसमें ऑपरेट
यही क्या है? ये चले अब इसी पे दे दो।
क्या कैसे
ऐसा ही आ रहा है,
आगे बढ़ रहा है बड़ा करो तो
Good afternoon, everyone. This is my basically it is not a research topic. You can say that it is a statistical analysis, two-way analysis of variance. The name itself suggests that what it is, ANOVA, analysis of variance. It is the extension of t-test and f-test. What is the research question type? what are the variables used over here. The research question is explaining the continuous variable with categorical variable, that is the factor variables. There are two factors are there. One is temperature level and another is the material type of the battery. We have taken one simple examples, the effective of the life of the batteries as compared by the different material used in the battery and the operating temperature of that battery. It is divided into three: one, low, medium and high. The 12 batteries are randomly selected from the each material type. There are three material type, 1, 2, 3, okay, maybe the different type, and randomly allocated to each temperature level. The resulting list of all the 36 batteries are given over here. Okay. Now, what is the research question? Is there a difference in the mean life of the batteries for the different material type and operating temperature level? In one-way analysis of variance, only we are not going to consider the interaction. What are the effect of the average life of the batteries on the temperature level and material type? Here we are going to study these two interaction level, and what is this name suggests that ANOVA, analysis of variance. It is the ratio of these two variances, okay, that is variability between the groups. What is mean by between the groups? How far apart are the means to the variability within the groups. Within the groups means how much natural variation is there in our measurements. So it is called as term as analysis of variance. Okay. Here we are going to study the two factors effect, that is material type and temperature, each with the three levels. The null hypothesis, there is no difference in the mean battery life for the different temperature level and the different type. Alternative may be there is a difference. Generally, in this case, we have run this SPSS. We have conducted the analysis in SPSS. That is the SASWAL. Okay. And once the null hypothesis is accepted, then there is a okay, means there is a no relationship or average life on this one. But if the alternative hypothesis is accepted, we have to use the post hoc analysis that we have conducted. And here we are going to study the post hoc analysis, that is interaction effect of the three types. And we are concluded with that there is a strong evidence that the mean battery life varies with the material used and the operating this particular temperature. Okay, presents an interaction level. What overall conclusion is this one. I'm not going to this thing presenting over. Okay, so this analysis is there. This p value we have iterated, and this graph shows that exactly if we have used this material 3 in the battery life, so then that will be the better one. This is the conclusion. Here only in one-way analysis of variance we can see only one factor. We have compared here the interaction effect also. That's why two-way analysis of variance. Any question? Okay. Thank you.
अरे अभी नीरव करता है
नीरव का हो गया ये ऑन कैसे हाँ
ऑन ही है वो आप बोलो
क्या
ऑन है आप बोलो ना आप
Yeah, good evening all. My topic for research is effect of demonetization on artisans working in tanneries in Dharavi. Now to begin with introduction, I have done a bifurcation on monetization and demonetization. What exactly is there? It's a process through which the money is used as an effective medium of exchange and there is a higher storage value. That's the meaning of monetization. And demonetization means what? It is a withdrawal of the current currency in circulation and thereby making it legally ineffective for any form of transaction. You have seen in the evening at 8th of November 16, it was being done. That was the introduction. Then I have framed two objectives. First is to know the impact of demonetization on the profitability of artisans working in tanneries. And the second was to study the annual turnover of artisans in tanneries in pre and post demonetization era. Likewise, I have two hypotheses based on my objectives. First is null hypothesis, which says demonetization does not have any impact on the profitability of artisans working in tanneries. It is a null hypothesis, and alternatively, it has an impact on the profitability. Likewise, as per the second objectives, I have framed hypothesis. There is no significant difference in the annual turnover in the pre and post demonetization era, and in the H1 category, that is alternative, there is a significant difference. So these are my two hypotheses based on the objectives. The methodology which I have used is I have taken a random sampling. For these two hypotheses, I have taken two tools, that is t-test, paired t-test and chi-square test for the comparison between pre and post era. The sample size was taken approx 400, and it was basically primary data through which I had taken I had done survey, and through the form of questionnaires I had collected the information. Now these were my how the data was analyzed. It's just a few things I have written. A lot of details were there, but I could not incorporate here. So I've just taken some few tests to support my hypothesis testing on the basis of the first hypothesis, which was related to the profitability. It was paired t-test, and with this, whatever things I could analyze, I could take it into data analysis part. I got the value of p, which is less than 0.05. So that's why we reject the null hypothesis and we accept the alternate hypothesis, which tells ki it has an impact on the profitability of artisans in the tanneries. Same way, these were the it was about the second alternative. It talks about the pre and post era, about the annual turnover. These are the values of turnover values less than 50,000, then 50 to 5 lakhs, 5 lakh to 20 lakh. These were the intervals, amount intervals, and these are the percent. 400 survey was done, and it was a percentage wise bifurcation. As you see, in the pre-era, you had a lot of people who were earning less than 50,000. Then gradually it goes to 143. Likewise, in the post-era, when we had a cash crunch, so that's why you found the business going down drastically, and it was only 78%. As and when the denomination increased, the number of frequency went down. So you could find a lot of disturbance in the turnover part. And this was again the calculation part in terms of mean and standard deviation, and considering the mean part and the values of standard deviation, I could derive at the conclusion key it definitely had an impact on the annual turnover, and we could find post was less as compared to pre. And the findings were I could take the response from range of 21 to 30. I could not take all people there because mostly they were all working people. So the age group was this only. Their average monthly income was less than 20,000. They were married. Family size was less than 3, and usually the education level of the people there were higher secondary, or they were in the primary education category. And for me, the recommendations is before we have seen demonetization, so the government has to come up with schemes and all to serve this technology to every person, online cashless economy. They should come up with digital online platforms should be encouraged, through television and FM program. They should encourage things, so people should move from cashless to cashless economy. And RBI should take some steps to improve this transaction system. They should make e-payment compulsory policy for them. All black money can definitely be taken care of in that case, and they need to guide it by their friends and relatives who know more about this e-wallet platform, and it will help them in a big way. Yeah, thank you. Let's go. Mic, sir.
Very good evening, all of you. My topic is a study on impact of TV serials in behavior of. नहीं मैं खाली check कर रहा था सब proper है. A study on impact of TV serials in behavior of married women located in Mumbai suburban. Basically, I choose this topic. The reason is quite simple, because whenever I was preparing a paper for family court, so at that moment I found lots of cases which include this type of situations. So that's why I prepared this. I chosen this topic. In introduction, I just want to tell you one thing, that in contemporary India, television is not just a set of entertainment. Television it is a very powerful tool which shapes your perceptions, shapes your thoughts, and which can affect your family dynamically. Apart from that, I just, in review of literature, I go through with the 3 authors and 3 papers in which the Jenny H. Brody, who researches on 27 middle class families, in that he observed that all the family members, whenever they together came and whenever they are watching any television serials and other things, they are very less interactive and lots of people are starting disobeying each other. The second study which I read is Leonard de Euron. In his research, I found that basically his research is based on the buying pattern of consumers and buying pattern of small children. He basically researched on the small children who get influenced by TV advertisements, and after getting advertisement they are doing anything for buying a product, whatever they saw on a television sets. And the last one is Khushbu Singh. Her research paper was basically talking about cultural distortion which was done by the TV serials. So these are 3 papers which I refer for review of literature, and the next one is problem statement. The problem statement is increasing nuclear family concepts rather than joint family. And the second one, which is most important and which influenced me to take this topic, is increasing number of divorce cases. The next one is research objectives. My objective is very clear: to understand the behavior of married women who are addicted to TV serials. The second one is to know the impact of TV serials in their daily routine work like buying pattern and other basic decision taking. And the third one, to know the impact of TV serials in their married life. Apart from that, in hypothesis, I took very simple hypothesis that my null hypothesis is there is no significant impact of TV serials in the behavior of women, and the alternate hypothesis is there is a significant impact of TV serials in behavior of married women. Apart from that, in research methodology, I will collect, like currently this topic is going on, my research work is also going on, so I don't know what will be the finding or what will be the result will came out, but the sources of data is quantitative as well as qualitative, primary as well as secondary. And in questionnaire, I took the reference of Nishikant sir, as Nishikant sir guided in his last session that he's one of the MPhil student was taking the reference of his objectives. So as per that, I formed this questionnaire. In this questionnaire, you see that I never took the name concept. The reason is I don't want that my respondent should be aware or he should feel that his personality will be disclosed to others. So that's why I didn't take the name column here. I took the first 3 very basic things like sex, email ID and location. Apart from that, the next 3 is the first objective. It was related to my first objectives, like are you married? Have you watched the TV serials? And the 6th one is what type of TV serials do you watch? After that, if you are looking towards my 7th and 8th questionnaires, then that's related to my second objective. So does TV serials affect your buying pattern of products? Do TV serials like Crime Patrol, Crime Alert affects your relationship with your relatives and neighbors? So basically, Crime Patrol and Crime Alert, these are 2 serials which always says us that don't believe on anyone. So that's why I took this topic. And the last one is, does your married life get affected by TV serials? Because lots of time in lots of divorce cases, I read this that people are blaming that in my life happening so and so incident which was happened in that serials and they took so and so things. Like in actual life, in actual family court cases, I know that. So that's why I written down this 9th question.
Okay, good evening everyone. So my topic is very timely and very simple: assessing consumer satisfaction among iPhone users of Mumbai. We know that yes, iPhones are selling, they are popular, but on various factors, we would like to judge that why they are so popular. Is there any dissatisfaction among the audience of various age groups that I'll be comparing? So for the consumer satisfaction, it is a qualitative term. So for that, I have created a conceptual background. I have tried to define, I have tried to give the, a definition to conceptual, to consumer satisfaction. Review of literature, I went through these papers, and more or less these papers were about smartphones and what are their qualities or what are their satisfaction levels. But there was hardly any study done in the field of iPhone. So I saw the gap. There were researches on smartphones, but very less researches on iPhone. So that gap I found, and that made me create my research objectives to assess consumer satisfaction among iPhone users, to identify factors influencing iPhone user satisfaction. So what are the factors which are influencing them, and to examine the relationship between demographic variables and satisfaction. Now there can be multiple demographic variation, but just for because there was a limited time, I have just taken age. Hypothesis, there is no significant difference in satisfaction levels among iPhone users based on age groups, and there is a significant difference in satisfaction level among iPhone users based on age groups. This is my research methodology. Data type is quantitative, qualitative. Source of data is primary. Method of data collection is survey. Tool is online questionnaire. There are 1.382 billion users worldwide of iPhone. The universe, the population, because I'm limiting this study to Mumbai, so 7,05,416 users. Sample size is, I have calculated using the tool taught by Nishikant sir, and that gave me 385. But 385 was converted to 400. Also, for sample size, I have done proportionate sampling. So 18 to 24 years and till 55 years above, I have taken 80 responses. So it is being done proportionately. I will be doing convenience sampling. So whosoever is available to me, in my case, my students, most of the students are using iPhone. So for it will be convenient, and I will also handpick them because based on their availability and the iPhone usage, of course. The statistical tool that will be used will be Excel or SPSS. Data received will be non-metric, analysis will be non-parametric, test squared will be chi-square test, and data visualization can be done through bar charts, histograms, scatter plots. And when I will be conducting the study, it development and marketing strategies, and it will also enhance understanding of consumer satisfaction in the smartphone market. Thank you. Wow.
मेरा 2 मिनट का ही है, ये सही लगाया ना सर, मैंने उल्टा लगा दिया, ऐसा लगेगा ना. So my study topic name is prevalence, awareness and the health practice related to polycystic ovarian syndrome among the women. See, as such, everybody knows about the PCOS, PCOD, hemoglobin levels, but we consider them not to be a very big disease. Whereas these diseases are very big. If we see the actual impact of it, the half of the population because of the PCOD is going to be infertile among the women, and as the India, our median age now is 32. In around 2040, our median age will be 38. So we will be moving more towards the old age size, and this infertility will again become one of the biggest cause. So what I have done is, I have taken the data from one of the doctor. He has data for past 5-6 months. So that cross-sectional studies was done. Inclusion of I have only taken this data for the married women between the age group of 18 to 50. Questionnaire was based on age, PCOS, BMI, health parameters, weight, TSH, even the pre-diabetic data. So all these data I have collected with the help of the doctor. Around 6 to 7 months we were working on it. So total 541 women participated in the age in this study. Mean age was 31 plus minus standard deviation. BMI और इन सब को भी छोड़ने के बाद women between 81 to 29 they know about the PCOS, highest they know, and these are the certain questions जिनका question yes and no में I have asked whether you know about the PCOS. Around 93% people said that they know about it, but There are certain parameters like acne problem, 67% people said yes. The weight gain, certain people said yes. But what are the treatments? And these small things can be, small treatments can help in overcoming the PCOS. PCOS cannot be removed, but it can be kept at a certain level. So for this, the study was done, and all this data regarding the questions. I have prepared one model using the logistic regression. My PCOS is an categorical data. So I have tried to apply the PCOS categorical data on the basis of some categorical and some non-categorical data. Actually, I have not included the slide. I divided the data into the test and the trial run and predicted the model also. So the model is working. Although the model say we will only be able to judge whether you are having the PCOS or not, the guarantee is not 100%, but with a small test, they can further go to the doctors, get the references, and the disease can be removed at the earlier ages. Secondly, few, as a suggestion to the, what should I say, government, we can say ki, because this topic is not included in the studies, only in the biology systems it is included. So if we include in everywhere, the people will get aware. Even the hemoglobin and the diabetes are also one of the factors for the PCOS, which many people do not know. So if people are aware of it, they can work on it.